Today, we are going on a kind of linguistic treasure hunt. We're going to track one single, powerful word through thousands of years of text. And you're about to see how a really simple physical idea can grow and evolve into something so profound it actually becomes a cornerstone of theological thought.
I mean, what if just one word could act like a key, unlocking a hidden story that's been woven through these ancient writings all along? By following its path, we can actually watch how language itself doesn't just describe belief, it actively shapes it. It's fascinating.
Okay, so our journey starts in the Hebrew Bible, and we're going to meet our protagonist, a small but, trust me, mighty word that at first glance seems incredibly simple.
Meet Millu. Its most basic meaning is, well, exactly what you think. To fill something up. Like pouring water into a jar or grain into a sack. A physical, totally straightforward action. Simple enough, right?
Well, hold on. This is no obscure, one-off term. It shows up around 250 times. So male is clearly a significant concept. It's doing way more work in the text than just talking about full containers.
And this is where things get really interesting. The biblical authors take this simple physical act of filling, and they just start applying it to concepts that are much, much bigger than jars and sacks.
You can just see the word's meaning expand dramatically. I mean, it goes from the purely physical, filling a water bag, all the way to the temporal, describing a period of time being filled up or completed. It gets used for promises, like fulfilling a 7-day marriage contract. And then it scales up to a global level, and that famous command to fill the earth.
This shows us something crucial. Male itself is neutral. It's all about what's doing the filling. So the earth can be filled with life, which is a divine blessing, or it can be filled with human violence. The container is the same, it's the content that makes all the difference.
Okay, so from filling the earth with people or with violence, the concept takes this huge leap. Now it's about filling a very specific space with something entirely divine. And this leads to one of the most powerful images in the entire Hebrew Bible.
Just look at this. The sacred tabernacle, it isn't filled with water or grain or people. It is filled, male, with the very glory, the tangible presence of God. The word now carries the sense of divine occupation, a presence so heavy and overwhelming that no human could even go inside.
Now get ready for a real aha moment. This idea of a divine presence, it doesn't just stop with spaces. It actually extends to people. And this leads us to a fascinating turn where the word connects directly to leadership and spiritual authority.
The connection here is just beautiful. The word for a priestly ordination, Millu, it comes directly from our word male. It literally means a filling. The ceremony actually involved physically filling the new priest's hands with offerings, which symbolized that they were now filled with the authority and the responsibility of their sacred role. And this verse from Exodus, it makes the connection totally explicit. The ram that's used in this special ceremony is called the ram of Millu, the ram of filling. So the concept is now deeply embedded in the religious and leadership structure of the community.
All right, so as we move from the Hebrew Bible into the New Testament, our word's conceptual DNA, if you will, is carried forward. It crosses into a new language, into Greek, and its main job becomes linking the past to the present to show this incredible sense of continuity and divine purpose.
So let's meet Pleroo. It carries all the same ideas as male, to fill, to complete, but in the Gospels, it takes on this very specific, very important new role to demonstrate the fulfillment of prophecy. The Gospel of Matthew, especially, uses this word like a drumbeat. It's constant. Event after event in the life of Jesus is framed exactly this way. This happened in order to fill up, to Pleroo, what was promised so long ago.
And this pattern is so intentional, it repeats over and over again. The author is basically presenting history as a series of promises that are now, finally, being brought to completion, filled right to the brim.
So here's a good way to think about it. An Old Testament promise is like an empty vessel. The New Testament narrative then uses this word Pleroo to declare, see, this event right here has now filled that vessel. It's the ultimate act of completion.
So far, we've seen the action of filling. But what happens when the whole idea evolves beyond the action itself and into the very state of being full? This brings us to the final and most abstract destination in our word's amazing journey.
And this is pleroma. It's the noun form of Pleroo. It doesn't just mean something is full, it is the fullness itself. It's the state of total completeness, the very substance of divine abundance.
And here it is. We've reached the climax of our words journey. The concept that began with filling a simple water bag has now arrived at its absolute theological peak. Pleroma now describes one person containing the entire essence and completeness of God. It's the most absolute kind of filling you could possibly imagine.
So we end right back where we started, but with a totally new perspective. We've watched a simple physical act transform into a complex, profound theological reality. The journey of this one word really challenges us to think, what do we really mean when we talk about a full life or a promise fulfilled? What does being full truly mean?